Hello everyone, welcome to Noonie TV. Yes, so I am excited today because we're going to talk about the best endgame healer in ESO, which is the Nightblade with Subclass, Warden, and Templar. If you're running trials, vet dungeons, or score pushes, the Nightblade healer build with Warden and Templar subclasses gives you everything from burst, sustain, hots, buffs, cleanse, and synergies, what I'll talk about little by little. Now, I just want to say something and I want to clarify something. This is top tier for endgame. I'm going to say it again, top tier. However, keep in mind, you're going to be in situations where, as a healer, Nightblade, Rojo Blade healer, you're going to have times where your other healer might be awarding. And in that case scenario, then that's when you start picking other subclasses like such as Necro or Sorcerer, simply because they have little minor tiny buffs that will help enhance the group. But for the most part, if you don't have a Warden, top tier will be all top number one, top tier. I'm telling you guys, and I want to get this out there, would literally be the most optimal to have a Nightblade with a Warden and a Templar. There's no doubt about it, and I'm going to explain why. With that being said, first let's talk about the Nightblade Passups. So we're going to go right next to it so I can explain. First thing comes first. On our primary bar, we have Healthy Offering. It gives big single target burst and crit buff. This is so good. With that being said, also gives you some minor mending for 10 seconds, increasing your healing down by 8%. Right? There's been times with tanks and players where you see their health bar go really fast in the trial, and you burst this right on them, and it quickly keeps them from dying. So I recommend you have it. Plus, it's in the synergies of the Siphoning Tree, which is so good. Our next thing we're going to talk about, and this is one of the best skills, Siphoning Attacks. Literally, this skill, having it on, there should be no reason you should be dying. There should be no reason why you're running out of resources. Plus, you're a Rojo Blade. You should be heavy attacking regardless every now and then. Literally, you can literally have no potions, nothing. This will give you all the sustain you need once you master it. And that is why the Siphoning Tree is so good in the Nightblade and why it's so recommendable to have as a healer. Next thing, and this will be a flex skill in the Siphoning Tree for the Nightblade. This is a flex skill, and that is Funnel Health. What does Funnel Health does? AOE healing. AOE healing is so good. You as much AOE heal that you can get in for your group endgame is just a must-have. But why is it a flex? Well, it does AOE healing while doing some light damage. So if you're in a situation or you're in a group where you have all your skills active, nothing's expiring, and you're taking a long time, and you need a spammable, you could spam this. Spam this and get some help out with some damage a little bit. So this is definitely good to have in that type of situation. I use it as a flex skill because there's so many skills you have from the subclass tree that, in all honesty, that's why you have it as flex. Now, before I go, I do want to mention Soul Siphoning. Soul Siphoning is an AoE heal and major vitality for a group. For the most part, in optimal groups, you're probably going to either have Barrier or Warhorn, whichever they decide on. So it's really hard to put in any bars. In my case, and I'll explain later, I have the Warden Enchanting Forest. So good. But if you don't like it, you could put Soul Siphoning, and it is really good. And we'll talk about why I chose Enchanting Forest later and my experience on it. With that being said, let me stop getting behind. Now we're going to talk about the Warden Utility. Let's go to the green balance, and that's the passive subclass tree that we're using for the Warden. All right. Before we go to Enchanted Forest, first let me talk about Budding Seeds. Budding Seeds for the Warden is just so good to have. It's a strong AoE heal over time. AoE heals are the most AoE heals you could put on your bar, the better it is for your team. You never know what situation they're going to be in. The only unfortunate is instant, but it only lasts 6 seconds. I say about 4 to 6 seconds. So you can't, because it has such a short timer, you're gonna have to keep constantly make sure this doesn't expire because it's so good to have in your group. Next thing finally is Enchanted Forest. It is such a super cheap Warden ultimate. Why do we have this? Well, because a lot of times barrier is so expensive and sometimes it takes forever to have it. Sometimes groups don't even want barrier. So having this as an extra ulti, whether you decide to go Warhorn or barrier, your extra ulti can be this or the Soul Siphon. I prefer this. It's just so good. You'll be surprised how many times I've saved people's lives and teams' lives, especially in pug groups and open runs. Just a must-have to have. The next class we're gonna go to now is going to be for the Templar, the Restoring Light tree. Why is this so good? Now we're gonna mention it. What I have on the bar, on my backup bar, I have the Extended Ritual. What does it have? It cleanses, debuffs, and heal. One thing that people are missing is it has synergies. The Nightblade is so good because of its buffs, but one of the things it always lacks was the synergies, which is why we have two skills. One from the Undaunted, the Energy Orb, does synergy, and now we have an extra Extended Ritual from the Templar. So good. And the thing I like about Extended Ritual that many people don't realize, it does stack. There is no major, there is no minor Extended Ritual. You could have two healers both using Extended Ritual and it just stacks. It is so good to have. Constantly keeps your team from dying. Right? Next one is Channel Focus. So you will say, why do we have Channel Focus? Well, because of the resistance buff and the magic of sustain. Now I did mention just having siphoning attack alone, like you shouldn't even really need potions. You could have potions optional if you want to, right? This gives it all. Plus it gives you some health, a little sacrifice here and there. But here's another thing. Put that with Channel Focus. Oh, so good. So if a siphon, if you're sacrificing some health, click Channel Focus real quick. You get most of your health back, you know, and it gives you an extra buff once when you stay in the rune for like extra 4 seconds. It is a great magic of sustain. I recommend it. This is just a must-have. And these skills that I have on my bar, there's really no flex to them. But let's say that depending on your other healer, you need to change it up a little bit. Then you can use your flex skills. But other than that, this is just the best way to go. You're not wasting anything on your bar for having it here. And this is why I choose these skills. Now we're gonna go into the core healer tools. And what I mean by that, these are skills that you must have, not just in this healer, but any healer. You should always have this on your bar. The first is Combat Prayer. Gives you minor Berserk and minor Resolve. I'm not really going to mention too much the core fundamentals because you can always ask me questions below and I'll feel free to give you more explanation, but these are just heals that you should always have on any type of healer. No exception whatsoever. Illustrious Healing. Strong ground AoE heal. You have Radiating Regeneration. It is a smart hot for 3 allies. We talked about Energy Orb. Anyone can use this from the Undaunted skill line. And finally, Elemental Blockade. As status effects, supports your group DPS. It also helps protect your group DPS. That's why you should always have it buffed. So, with that being said, why does this work? Well, here's a few reasons why it's top tier. It is top tier in healing bursts and hots, full group buffs and cleanses, plus synergy. That is the key. No, tanks love synergies. Any healer that can provide synergies, they fall in love with. And I don't blame them. I was a tank and trust me, I need synergies all the time. Multiple ultis for every situation, so fast, and works in any engrave group. It is simple, powerful, and built for serious content. Finally, we'll go over a few other things that we need to mention. One is, of course, the sets. I'm not going to go over it too much because this is a Rojo healer build. Unless you're using any mythics, then, you know, you're using Joro Guidance, Joro, depending on the helm, that's optional on your group, and Warrant Opportunity. As you can see right there, I'm not going to go too much into it. If you have any questions, feel free to below. Also, more content, don't forget to subscribe. Champion points, I'll go to it quickly. If you have any questions, why? Lightning Overflow, Hope Fusion, you can look at this. You can always pause and repeat. Soothing Tide, Focus Mending. The green tree's flexible. The red tree for the most part is flexible as well, but I'll show you what I have. All right. With that being said, got any questions? Feel free to comment below. I wanted to get this video out before someone else does, and vice versa. And I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, thanks everyone.